everyone, it's Hannah here from Hand Crochet, and today I'd like to share with you how I go about joining my crochet motifs, because I absolutely hate sewing together. I love sewing as a technique, but I hate using it in my crochet. If there is a way that I can crochet things together, I absolutely will. So I don't know about you, but that's the way I like to do things. So what I've got are 4 little motifs I will put the link for the pattern below, because there's a video tutorial for these, and there's also a larger blanket pattern which is free on my blog. And I've also got a contrast colour yarn which I wouldn't necessarily use, but I wanted you to see the stitches and see the joins to work out how they work for you and whether you'd like to use them or not. So first of all, you have a right side and a wrong side to your work, and you can join whichever side you like. I sometimes often join actually from the right side, because I find it adds a bit of interest and texture. I love patterns with texture, so that works for me. But if you want a really neat flat finish to the front, then I would suggest joining from the wrong side of your work. So just flip over, and always make sure, it's quite tricky sometimes, especially with motifs like this, you can easily add one the wrong set with the wrong way round. So just check before you do any joining. So the first technique I'd like to show you is a double crochet seam, which is a UK term. So in a US term, you would use a single crochet. And I often use this to the right side of my work, but I will mostly use it just using the back loops, because then that will still give you this front loop, and I just think it makes a really nice, neat finish to it. So these motifs have got a chain 3 in the corner, so I'm going to join to these loops of the last chain there, and I'm going to chain 1 and then work a US single crochet or UK double crochet into those. And so then for the next stitch, you have your front loop, your back loop, and then the corresponding stitch on the other motif, you have what is now a front loop and the back loop. So I'm just going to use the back loop of this first stitch here and the front loop of that stitch there, and then make a stitch in there, the front loop, the back loop, sorry, and then the front loop, and work a single crochet, and carry on this way all the way along. Until you get to your next corner space. And so now you will see you have a really, really lovely neat joining seam, and you've got the detail of the loops of your squares, and it doesn't pull it in too tight either. It sits really nicely, and once it's blocked it looks really lovely. And then to scoop over to the next set of motifs, I would just chain 1 and then continue working, and similarly when you go across this way, chain 1 just to have a little bit of space. But if you want them joined really, really tightly, then don't use that chain 1. So the next example to join, I would use again the back loop and then the front loop of each, and have them with their wrong sides facing each other as so. And I just use a slip stitch seam, and I really like this one because it's quick and easy. You just need to make sure that your tension isn't too tight. And that, with you see within the different colours, creates a really nice join that is just slightly proud, but will flatten if you press it. So another example I'd like to show you is a flat seam, and that I'm doing from the right side again. And I'm going to insert my hook from the right side into those loops and join my yarn. And this one's just really important to work out which loop you go through first in which direction. So your yarn needs to stay underneath your work, and you're going to insert your hook through that loop there and through then the corresponding loop here, and then pull it through both. Yarn through, hook through rather, and hook through and pull through both. Hook through, and pull through both. Again, it's really important not to have too tight a tension for this one. And if you feel like going up a hook size might help, then that's probably a good idea too. And so that, I think, is probably my favourite way of joining, and it gives you a really lovely finish. Now you can use both loops of the stitch if you'd like to, but I just feel it gives the blanket a bit more give, a bit more stretch, and then it will be the shape that it needs to be, as opposed to you forcing it into a size. So I really hope that this tutorial has been helpful. I'll put the link to all the tools, the materials and the free pattern for the blanket here in the description. And if you'd like to subscribe and tap the bell button, that would be fabulous, because then you'll get notified when I release new patterns and tutorials. And also subscribe. If you subscribe to my mailing list, you also get a free pattern, a free PDF. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from you soon. Take care. Bye.